Every night, somewhere in Brazil, a city is powering down. But high up in one of those buildings, a business owner is still awake. The house is completely quiet. Their family has been asleep for hours, but their mind is racing. They are staring at the ceiling, turning over a choice they have to make the moment the sun comes up. This is the invisible weight of executive leadership. The kind of physical exhaustion that comes from the quiet hours spent bracing for the day ahead. Maybe the choice is about a legacy product, something that used to be the absolute pride of the company, but simply doesn't carry the same market power it once did. Or maybe a major client is pushing back, aggressively squeezing the business on margins. It could be a structural dilemma, deciding whether to accept a massive new partnership, knowing the operational risks involved. These deep, nuanced problems do not show up in a cold spreadsheet. They only surface in the dead of night. Because running a business means carrying a human ecosystem. Entire families depend on the salaries this company pays, and clients place their total trust in the work. And despite the size of the staff or the scale of the operations, at the end of the day, the ultimate consequence of failure falls entirely on one isolated person. Naturally, they try to share the load. They sit down with their accountant, but the accountant's lens is narrow. They look at the business and see only tax compliance and ledgers. They turn to a senior manager, but the manager only understands their specific operational silo, blind to the broader corporate machinery. Even well-meaning friends offer advice filtered entirely through their own subjective realities, which rarely scales to a different industry. Left without peers, the CEO looks outward. They scroll through business lectures online, buy management books, watch case studies. But theoretical frameworks from other companies do not carry the physical weight of real-world payroll. Every traditional support system comes up short. They either offer fragmented pieces of the puzzle or generic advice completely divorced from the CEO's unique reality. And while they struggle to diagnose internal issues, the external world refuses to stand still. The macroeconomic landscape is shifting daily. Tax reforms, sweeping regulatory changes, wars, volatile elections, crushing interest rates, and constant technological upheaval. These forces hit the business like storm waves against a coastline, massive, violent, and entirely outside the leader's control. Facing that chaotic environment without a true strategic partner leaves a leader feeling profoundly exposed. But imagine if a company could rely on the exact same support structure that human beings use to stay alive, a dedicated, long-term physician. When a patient is struggling, a good doctor doesn't immediately fire off a generic opinion. They start by actively listening. They pull the medical history, they map the current symptoms, order highly specific blood tests, and investigate the root cause. A treatment plan is only ever prescribed after a deep, highly contextualized investigation. Now, apply that precise clinical logic directly to the architecture of a business. The system ingests the company's unique medical history, processing years of interconnected data, cash flow, P&L, product performance, and client life cycles. It flags invisible symptoms hiding in daily chaos, then actively simulates future decisions, testing multiple branching scenarios to see how they play out. This intelligence functions as a thinking partner, processing variables and refining strategies long before the leader reaches the final moment of decision. It functions exactly like a family doctor who knows your specific history, growing and adapting as the business matures. This is the company doctor. Navigating a shifting economy will always require hard choices, but with an intelligent partner actively diagnosing the business, the journey of leadership no longer has to be a solitary one.